I am here today with a very special guest, someone that you may recognize from Ridiculousness. The man has gone viral plenty of times over. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Jurassic Juggernaut, Vince Steele.
Hey, Mark, thanks for having me, man.
Yo, my man, it's been a long time in the making. We have definitely crossed paths before, different locker rooms, Atlantic City. You may remember that. I don't. Definitely a different story. Definitely a different story for a different day. My man, we're here about you. So let's get into this. Because we've talked about briefly before off the air, but let's talk about on here. Ridiculousness. You're on
Yeah.
there for, I mean, if anyone knows the show on MTV, it's not necessarily flattering, but however, like to be on there, you had to submit yourself for it. Is that correct?
No, actually, they found me.
They found you. Okay.
Yeah, the thing was, Green guy from Shadow Wrestling filmed that actual clip, and they were asking they wanted to know who owned it and all that stuff like that. So that's how it became so viral. Somebody else put it out there, but they wanted it for themselves.
Oh wow. Wow. How did that feel for you though?
Well, me, since I've been in the business for so long, botches always happen.
Mhm.
And in my case, I botched a lot of times, so it really didn't bother me too much. And it helped me out, especially around that time. I started going out more. I started touring Florida, and once that hit, I blew up. I was in Florida, Texas, Chicago, West Virginia. I was all over the place.
Wow. Over a botch. Like
Yeah.
it's funny because the term in general, it'll make a lot of wrestlers cringe, right? But like for you, you embraced it. A and B, it opened doors for you.
Yes. Yes, it did. I was always told if life hands you lemons, make lemonade.
And that's what you did, my man. You certainly did. Like, all right, so you've obviously seen the clip quite a few times, I'm sure. Chris Jericho was the guest on there.
Yeah.
Uh, obviously, everyone everyone who's in the business loves and appreciates Chris Jericho. How did you feel about his response to the video?
It was cool. He just didn't respond back to me when I responded to him on Twitter when he said he was on the show. I was like, "Oh, you commented on my botch," and he didn't answer me back. But it was all cool.
No. Oh man. Sorry, bring up
But
bad times.
you want to hear a fun fact? Me as a fan, I went to see him and Fozzy first time perform at Virgin Maker Store right after they did their TRL debut.
That's awesome. I
Yeah,
love Fosse.
yeah, they're a pretty cool band.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Um, but then like so I'm gonna have one last question about this and we'll move on. So what was the thought process going over there? You did the dive to
All
pretty
right.
much nothingness.
Well,
If you can remember?
that match was like actual like 40-man battle royal,
Hmm.
and it was like
Okay.
Royal Rumble style. So the match was, and I came in at number 20. By the time you seen the botch, we were already an hour and like 10 minutes in the match.
Oh my Lord.
So I was exhausted, and I planted my feet wrong. I wasn't supposed to stand the way I stood on the ropes, and I said fuck it, and I went and did it anyway, and we ended up getting this magic.
That's amazing. And then you get up like nothing and you kick the guy. That was
Yeah.
great. That was awesome, dude. Um, and again, you turn lemons into lemonade. I think that's the lesson that we can take away here from that. And obviously, I mean, like, it did a lot of things for your career in a positive way. That let's shift gears here because you're not only a wrestler, but you work behind the scenes as well for a wrestling promotion called Shadow Wrestling Alliance. Talk to us a
Yes.
little bit
Yeah.
about that, like, because you're an active worker in there, and
Oh
yet
yeah.
you work behind the scenes, which is not necessarily uncommon in the indie scene. But what does that do for you? Like your mindset going to into an event and whatnot, having the camaraderie with the boys, but yet at the same time, hey, in a way your boss.
Yeah, the way I work things out is like since I've been in the sport for about 23 years already, so I feel like it's time for me to give back. And a lot of the guys that we book are guys who don't um absolutely get the right opportunities once in a while as they should. Like guys like Prince Ahmed, guys like Johnny Santos, um, guys that are very good and they'll be good for a company to build them as a star. And a lot of these promoters, they're looking for the big names to fill the seats as fast as possible. Where we're still a story based promotion where we're trying to tell a story. We're not just putting fantasy matches or like big one offs. We want to build up. We want crowds to keep coming back.
Hey, I mean, wrestling 101, man. It's storytelling, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, the I just recently was watching the Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix. I'm only 2 episodes in, but like one of the things that they were talking about, what made WWE or WWF at the time stand out, because it was just again storytelling. That's really what it was. It was more of that than the actual wrestling. And I think a lot of wrestling today, you look at different promotions, they tend to forget that. Why is that the case?
It's more of the social media era. Everything is like under 3 minutes, so people attention span are not as long as they used to be. But just like life, everything comes in full circle. People are actually asking for stories again, just like in WWE, they're doing the whole tribal chief, Roman Reigns, and everything like that. AEW does storylines. I don't think they last long enough. Um, but
Often a critique, yeah.
yeah, so they build up for certain matches. Um, that and TNA also they're starting to tell more stories. So it's coming back in full circle. So telling a story. So hopefully it ends up coming back into the indies again, and then we can start making some real money.
No, absolutely. I think that that's what keeps the fans coming back for more is the storytelling, the effectiveness. It's I personally don't think it's ever going to go out of style, storytelling. And I'm glad to see that you're doing that Shadow Wrestling Alliance. So, you guys have been doing some great things. I mean, yeah, it's a great thing to bring up the talent, to tell the stories. You guys also went to Puerto Rico a few times. You have another upcoming show too. Is it Chicago? Or am I wrong in that?
No, no. The next Shadow show will be October 18th. It'll be in the Mecca Richfield Park, and the name of the show is Gasolina.
Gasolina. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, how did Shadow Wrestling come to be, man? Like, how did you get? Did you start it from the ground up? Were you and the promoter, or did you step into it? Like, how did that come to be?
It was me and my best friend Giovanni Cruz. He had the money at the time. This was during the pandemic. We were trying to figure out what can we do and stuff, so we decided to build a company. And at the time, Florida was a hotbed, and we decided to open up in Florida, and then we ended up moving back up to the Northeast. So, and that's where we're at right now.
That's
We've
awesome. Yeah.
been we've been operating for 3 years, so it's not
Hey,
bad.
keep it going, man. You're doing something right, right? I mean, some promotions they fold in less time. They sometimes they're one and done. It's a lot of work to run a
Yes.
promotion, especially for so many years. So kudos to you. You guys are doing great things over there. You guys have also been collaborating quite a bit with BCW. With that being said, you are representing Shadow Wrestling Alliance coming up at BCW's next show, Nightmare at the Mecca, October 20th. Tickets are still on sale now. And your opponent, it's a battle to promotions at a different promotion. It's funny. At BCW, Shadow Wrestling Alliance pretty much versus NWA Exodus Pro Wrestling, where you'd be facing Sebastian. What does that matchup mean to you? A, and then B, what does that do for Shadow Wrestling Alliance?
Well, of course, I'm trying to get the W, and I think with us winning, with me defeating Sebastian, will probably get us a notch up on the NWA, and maybe Billy Corgan can call us up and see if we can do some affiliation with the NWA. I don't mind doing that. Um, but it's also to give Shadow Wrestling Alliance a chance to get their name out more. And I like to thank BCW for making this happen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not just saying this as someone that works quite often with BCW. I feel like that's a rare move for Anthony Cole to do, to give a spotlight for another promotion and do that. Is that because of you and Anthony Cole? You guys go back, right?
Yeah, we also collaborated also. He also traveled with us to BCW, did some stuff with us in Puerto Rico. He also came with us to LA when we were out there for Mania that year. And he had brought on Darius Carter to finish title out in LA, and that opened a lot of doors for Darius Carter also. Like that's where we're at. We're not so much as competitors against each other. We're how you say it, um colleagues. We're
Yeah.
trying to help each other get better.
I know, and that's awesome. That's something I kind of wish you see more of in the independents. You kind of is back in the territory days. You kind of saw a little bit of that. Like you'd have like wrestlers, special champions, like on loan, I guess per se, at different territories. Do you see kind of that coming back a little bit here?
Oh, I would like that, but it's also depending on the market and how that promoter is treating that market.
Yeah,
Anthony Cole, he's one of those promoters that has, like, people that's been in the business hasn't really seen in a while, because Anthony Cole is trustworthy, he's loyal, and he's truthful. I can tell you, since I've been working with that man, I haven't been stiff on pay. Everything he told me happens. So, you know what I'm saying? That for me being in the business that long, you don't see that all the time. So,
yeah.
Anthony Cole is like one of those special people in the business.
No, and he's that's why he's one of very few that I like to work with in the wrestling world. He's the only promotion that I'm currently working with specifically, and it's because of that. Everything you just said. And you've been around for a long, long time. So for you to say that, that means a lot, I'm sure, to him. Um, so let's get into it, man. You and Sebastian coming up at Nightmare at the Mecca. I'm sure you have
I'm
words
kind
you
of
want to say to him.
I'm kind of hoping you can help me, because I've been trying to do my homework about this guy. He doesn't have too much stuff out there in the world, so I'm going in there with blind eyes, but my confidence level was pretty up there. So you
I mean, as
know,
well you should. I mean, dude, you're a big man. You can squash anyone. You can squash anyone. But he is no slouch himself. I see he's built. And I didn't know that you were an artist as well, Vince.
yeah, I've been our ring is a canvas, and I did a lot of masterpieces in the square circle.
Yeah, you get a chance to draw a little smiley face over his blood, probably in the middle of that ring.
Yeah, I can't wait.
But man, I am looking forward to seeing this one, man. Like watching you work, it's always a privilege. If you've never got a chance to see Vince Steele in person, this is a chance to do so. You can tell he's a big man on here, but his size, his strength, it's one to see in person. October 20th, Nightmare at the Mecca, Sebastian of NWA Exodus Pro versus Vince Steele of Shadow Wrestling Alliance. Worlds collide in one. Get your tickets today. Vince Steele, thank you so much, man. I always hope to have you back on here so we can talk more. You have quite the mind for the business, man, and I hope to dive more into that.